for modern day parents, is how we can teach our children morals whilst having a good time. These days, particularly if you're an African parent, one of the biggest concerns is, how do I get my child to enjoy, the comedy, the cartoons, all the great content that is available from the West, from the East, without them necessarily getting either indoctrinated or losing good core moral values. So I want to make some suggestions for those of you who have televisions or maybe tabs that children can sit and watch great movies that the entire family can watch. Right now, some of them are cartoons, right, and others are wholesome and I mean they are clean. There's no issue of maybe some homosexuality type content, or maybe it looks like they're trying to get them to join a secret cult, or maybe child starts to have bad dreams. Nothing horror on my list this morning. Right, very quick suggestion before we get to our final conversation. So here they are, great family movies that everybody can enjoy, including you mummies and daddies. First one is The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. All right, it's a great fantasy. It's a great story. It's a timeless tale, by the way. It is by the author C.S. Lewis. So you can actually get the book and encourage your child or your children to start to read. But the movie is a fantastic one to watch. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's not a cartoon, it's not animation. It's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's a wholesome feature-length presentation, and you would love, and I mean your children will love the movie. Very, very many children who have suggested that movie to have had a great time watching that particular movie. Now, the next one, also a feature-length presentation. It's not animated, all right? Is a sports drama. It's one that challenges the mind, and shows what can be done when you put your mind to it. All right, you overcome it. It's a feel-good type of movie. All right, this one is called Facing the Giants. All right, Facing the Giants. Another lovely movie that I think everybody would love. And then the third one, before I get to the cartoons that I love, all right, it's also a sports related movie. All right, remember the practice. So the three movies, great movies, you enjoy it, you and the family will have a great time. Now, as for the cartoons, and I am a purveyor of cartoons. I love cartoons. I keep watching them till today, till tomorrow. I will always watch cartoons. But for family entertainment, first off, Kung Fu Panda. Any Kung Fu Panda, 1, 2, 3, and I hear 4 is out right now. Any Kung Fu Panda is a great family movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. You cannot go wrong with Kung Fu Panda. All right. So Kung Fu Panda is the first one I think you should get to see. You would love it. Great movie. All right. Great cartoon. Then second one is Ice Age. Also a family favorite. No one gets wrong with that one. And last but not the least, because it has great songs, Frozen. Particularly the first one. And I'm not generous. It's all of them. Because this morning, our final conversation is all about real estate agents and agents imports. Now, I know right here, it was the same space where when individuals calling a real estate agent back and forth, okay, let's go, you pay us on that now, and I'll show you how, blah, 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 blah. And for some reason, related, this client could not make it. And so, I could tell that this person was very, very busy. This real estate agent kept calling. 5 minutes, every 2 minutes, kept calling. I understood. People need to make money. Everybody's trying to make money. And so, this person answers the call, puts it on speaker and says, look, I'm very busy. I'm sorry. I couldn't get away from the office. Can we schedule for tomorrow? Guess what this man who is looking for money does? He hisses. The longest snake-like hiss I have ever heard a man. I can't even do it myself. I can't even do it. I don't even know how to hiss. This guy hissed and ended the call. And then I started to knock at people's doors. figuratively speaking, by the way. Have you had experiences with, agents, not landlords now, agents? One said, I dey cut phone for a person here. I dey cut phone. Not try me. You are looking for money, agents. Another, and all these stories are in Port Harcourt. Another one, right? Collected money to go and show somebody the house. He told the person, we are going to Jude's house. But when the person got to the place where they're meant to meet, he says, that house, he better say they don't take him. Maybe we'll go another place. And this other place is further away from where this person wants. He has to pay money. Ladies and gentlemen, in summary, right? The question I want to ask you this morning, so we don't waste our saliva and we talk for development, is this. Should these agents and agencies, should they be further or more firmly regulated? Right? That's the first one. And how would you rate the real estate agents and agencies in jolly old Port Harcourt? Yeah, my questions.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Info at store.
And now, Elhak with you on T2B3 Nigeria Info.
172-002-01723-002-017-923-0003 at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. 92.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Jude.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jude. Thank you for reading out those movies. I've watched one of them, Chasing the Giants, by the Kendrick brothers.
Very good movie.
It's a very great movie, great one. They also thank you for playing us Lady Gaga, taking us back time. Although that song was a very protest song. It's a very protest song, but thank you for playing it anyways. Jude, the truth is that most of these agents, particularly the ones we have in town, I don't think they are under any
licensed body.
Licensed bodies. Thank you for that word. You just see somebody who has not got job for some time now, and the next thing is an agent. Young boys, young girls, moving about, priding themselves as agents. So I want the security agents, particularly the police, the DSS, to come into these agents to really find out if these guys are licensed. Because most of them in town here, like yesterday, we were handling one who took somebody's 5,000 naira in the name of mobilization.
Yes, that's what they call it now.
Yes, the folks never got that apartment today. Okay, yeah, do refund now. I will come. I will not come. He did, and we called him to show up this weekend. Otherwise, we will trace him to get him. Most of them are very, very dubious. So I don't know how the licensed one would come into it, because it is all about their professional. The agent now, you see them as a fraudster. Some of them are fraudsters. Even there's nothing, they would even checking you that if you call me again, I would deal with you.
Wow, they threaten people.
They threaten you. I have a friend who has been threatened. I have to come in and say, in fact, this girl angrily left the money with the agency today. 10,000 naira gone like that. So an apartment in never got. So most of them in town, like I know them in town, are a bunch of criminals, allegedly.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Interesting. So that's what you supposed to do, really. Okay. All right. This one says, good morning. Please increase the volumes, like they're not hearing at the back. These people are some of the worst sets of people in Port Harcourt. They are even worse than the touts who disturb people at the junction. So-called real estate agents. Do they even have an agency? Well, there is. I know there is. Right? There's actually a licensed real estate agency brokerage firm, right, in Port Harcourt, in Nigeria. In fact, you're even meant to go to school for it. But what we see these days are individuals who are kind of like middlemen, right? That's what we get to see. Fine. Everybody needs to get a hustle or needs to do something, because in a sense it is legitimate. They don't force you, they don't coerce you. They say, okay, look, I'm going to look for a house for you. If I find a house for you, I get a percentage, right? Or okay, if you want to show you the house, you have to give me mobilization, because obviously they go around places. And when I was looking for my house, I have to be very honest, I got to see a lot of these so-called real estate agents. They were moving just the same way I was walking around the entire East-West Road looking for where I would sleep. That's how these guys were moving around the entire East-West Road looking for, available apartments or buildings that were coming up, and trying to parlay with the landlords. They were doing that. And yes, you could say you have to pay for those services, because they weren't working on air. They paid transports. All right, good. But it's how they go about these services that is in question. When we come back, Brightener from Woji, I'll read your message when we come back, and all the other messages, about 3 or 4 of them have just come through. I'll read them when we come back. They're talking about real estate agents and agencies in Port Harcourt.
Talk.
Registered companies, right. So yeah, let's talk about them this morning. How would you rate their services in Port Harcourt, and do you think that there should be stricter regulations concerning real estate agents and agencies? That's what we want to find out from you. Broken Hearts, all right, I just saw your comment on Facebook, says I called the numbers too quickly. I will apologize and repeat the numbers to call very slowly. Please do bear with us. We try to repeat it as often as we possibly can. All right, so you want to dial in the studio and have a conversation with us. The numbers to call: 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0007, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0007. All right. Now, with those numbers, you can call in and we can have a great conversation with you here in the studio. WhatsApp now is 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. Now, Brightness says, I rate the agents in Port Harcourt 0/10. They are raving, ravenous wolves looking for someone to dupe. In fact, they are highly fraudulent. Strict regulations should emerge to check their activities. Port Harcourt agents are pure vampires. Brightner from Woji. But it can, and I'm saying this once again, it's very easy to make general statements, right? It's not all of them, all right? We have encountered, and they are, like I said, proper registered real estate agencies and agents in Port Harcourt. You are advised to do business with such people, but many of them might not be. And what I heard a few days ago is that some of them might even create fake ID cards, not from any government, but just Okoko and Son from Jude's company, real estate agent. Those companies don't exist. But because it's morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Good,
How are you?
very well. Good morning to you. Welcome, please.
Yeah, I really wanted to contribute towards what is going on in Nigeria Info.
Go on, please.
Yes, as regards to agents. My dear, government really need to come into the so-called agents, especially here in Port Harcourt. The experiences, a lot of things I've heard from friends and the encounters I've had with these people is nothing to write home about. Indeed, there should be check and balances. There are ones, what they do is collecting money in the name of mobilization. They won't get your house. The issue of threat is their daily activity. They will liaise with somebody only to get money from your pocket. They will take you there and suddenly tell you, oh, the house has been taken, or this one or the other one. I mean it. If we actually want to prosper in this nation, we must call a spade a spade.
But Onyeka, you know the person who you are, the agent, for example, supposed agent, you need to pay him for the service of going to find you the house. Isn't that the proper thing? You couldn't walk all around Ajip Estate or walk around the entire Mile 4. But this person has gone around. He has contacts. They told him at his house here. That service, those calls, those times he spent under the sun, he should be he should be compensated for.
My brother, I agree with you on that. But the truth is that there are people who are dubious in this particular profession we are talking of. In every profession, let me say the truth, there are people who play one prank or the other. The area I'm concentrating are those ones that are playing pranks, not the real ones. I believe that every laborer deserves his wages.
Fair enough.
Whatever you have put in, you deserve what it was.
Okay. All right, Onyeka, thank you very much. Now let's get to headline news, and when we come back, Brahimo from Rukbaku sent a message. We also have Andy also in Choba with a message. We'll get to these individuals when we come back after the headline news. Stay tuned.
Headline news, Nigeria in
minutes before we jump out of the studio and hand you over to the afternoon crew. So you have a house, hopefully, as you listen to us, or maybe you were looking for a house at one point in time. Now, globally, less than 40% of all the world's population, the entire population, actually own their own home. Interestingly, all right. So a lot of people, majority of the population on this planet, actually either rent or mortgage or what you may call it, lease their homes, whatever you want to call it. They don't necessarily own the homes. Now, that has led to a very thriving business. Real estate, particularly the real estate agencies, are now multi-billion. Not just here in Nigeria, but all over the world. Fine, granted, everybody's talking about, if you want to be a millionaire, invest in real estate. Fair enough, no problem. Nobody's discouraging you. However, this morning on this program, we are asking you to weigh in on your experience or experiences with real estate agents or agencies. Now, you see, it would be foolhardy of me to say, many of them or most of them are bad, because also clients such as I and you are also very problematic and very troublesome. That's the truth. Wherever there is a buyer and a seller, friction is bound to occur. And it's not necessarily the fault of one or the other. It could actually be both. Now, in that vein, however, you would want to ask that, isn't there some form of, ethical behavior, some form of professionalism that should be demanded of certain groups, in this case, real estate agents? The same way we have rules, regulations, a regulatory body that governs media presentation, broadcasting, and whatnot in this country. How come many, particularly Port Harcourt residents, don't get to see or feel the impact of such a group in the state? Agents are everywhere. Some of them will tell you A, meanwhile they mean D, not even B. Michael is in Burkiri. Michael, good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning once again. Final lap. The truth is that if you watch what is happening in advanced countries like UK, US, Canada, and you see what is happening in Nigeria, you will see that we are we are lagging behind so many things. Both the root tenants, both the house agents, and the landlords, we are all poor people. Do you know some of the landlords too? Because it takes two to tango. The landlords whose properties are about to be leased or rented don't even find time to ask who brought these would-be tenants to the houses. They are interested in the amount to be paid. Because I have rented a house from landlord, even though my parents have. They don't even ask the agent, who are you? What agency are you working for? Can I see valid use of an education? They don't ask. I think most of the property owner, the landlord, don't ask. What they're interested in this agent. And some of the landlords don't know the name of the agent that brought a tenant to the houses. So if anything goes wrong, you can't even hold the landlord accountable. Or the landlord doesn't even know the name of the
agent.
They are not person to him for business. It's like you booking a ride for booking one of these e-hailing. At least you should know the name of the driver who is taking you on this drive.
Fair enough.
You should know yes, you should know the company. They are dictating to you. The car
number, the color,
the color, the number plate. These are basic information you should know. But in Nigeria, we do things anyhow, upside down. People just don't care. Now the would-be tenant too doesn't know the name of the agent, phone number of the agent. They don't have no contact, no visible thing. You say now when you meet the agent, I'm looking for what kind of thing. You don't know the address where they saw the person. You can't give this information. You see, if you watch what is happening about Nigeria, you should be asking if our brain is on reverse. We do take carelessly in this country. So I want to appeal to the security agencies. So come into this case, provide the DSS, the Nigerian police. I believe there is something they have to do with this attitude of agents, not only as agents, but even those people that sell cars.
That's a different place. I should go and knock and ask questions.
So an agent, a car owner knows that this person who is trying to contract the buyer to him is a good person. The person would keep quiet. They know that car has no catalytic converter. But you'll be very sure that the agent who is standing in between will be seeing the traces of that car. And the car seller knows that all that is totally untrue. Or they will keep this true there. If you watch foreign movies and see what's happening in Nigeria and God, you will discover that we are living our lives in just 2 age. We have not learned lessons.
It's really unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael says it's really unfortunate. So let's get to you now. We'd like for you to join in the conversation. As always, turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Please do not make unsubstantiated and unverified claims. And very importantly, keep your comments civil.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Agents are the reason why house rent is high in Port Harcourt. Agents told our landlord to increase the house rent, that the rent is too cheap. Agents can never live in a good house. Check and see. It is so annoying because of few agent fees. That's why they asked landlord to increase rent. Brimo from Rupoko. Okogwa is on the line. Okogwa is speaking to us from Rumokuta. Okogwa, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Brother Jude.
Good morning.
1980 something to 1999 something, people did relate directly to the landlords, and they would get the accommodations without problems. So how did this group come up? Who initiated them? That when you need an accommodation, you go to a place, you will see the accommodation, they will say, go and see agent. When you get there, he will not tell you that you have to pay him 50 or 60 or 100,000. That is before you now pay for the house rent to the landlord. This process not deliberate extortion. There are things that we are not supposed to exist, or allowed to exist in the human society. Go directly to the landlord and do your accommodation transaction. And it has brought a lot of problems. So I'm not in support of that. Look, it's not ideal. The tenant should directly, or somebody that needs accommodation should directly talk to the owner of the house.
But what if the owner is not around? What if the owner doesn't live in the state or even in the country? That's why you have real estate agencies and agents to help, like lawyers or something, just mediate between both parties.
If the landlord is not around, what of if his wife not around? If his wife not around, what of the sons and daughters?
What if they're all abroad? Because I know of a house I wanted to rent to Konkwo 2 years ago. The man
if they're not around,
doesn't
what of
live.
the brothers and sisters of the
So you don't believe
what I'm talking of. Is to put there are agencies that you will initiate in the country. It will bring problems and conflict in the society, just like this one has been bringing. Thank you.
Okay, all right. But I do know that there is a place. Like I said, estate management is something that is studied in school. Real estate, people actually get degrees, certifications, and stuff like that, right? There's actually an association of estate practitioners here in Nigeria, right? The Association of Estate Agents in Nigeria. There's actually one. It's an affiliate of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. So this is where the problem is, right? Where do these, I like to call them middlemen, where do they fit in? Because let's be honest, if you are to actually go through a real estate agency to obtain a building, maybe to rent a business space or even your accommodation, you may be surprised as to the cost. And those costs are legitimate costs. But I think where a lot of people are having problems right now is those guys who are on the road. Hey, Chukwemeka is now agent. Tola has not turned to agent. So who was saying that? When I was looking for my own house, I actually met a girl, a student of University of Port Harcourt, who said she's the agent. She was coming from school. We picked her up from school. She said, "Oh, there's one house somewhere. But if we're going to take the house, so that we should not forget her agency fee." So basically, please, before I go back to the phone lines, please, I need to say this. I personally, this conversation is not directed at putting anybody down or ridiculing them or what's the word? Painting them in a bad light, right? Making them to be gorillas when they are not. That's not it. If you went out, sourced for information, you have the information, I am seeking for the information, all right? I should pay you for that information because I didn't do the running around. That's why I was very adverse. I have to be honest. Apart from the fact that I was on a very strict budget, I was very adverse to going through these agents on these roads to look for my house. That's why I walked. But now, if I want to get another apartment, ladies and gentlemen, let me not lie, I will look for an agent. I will pay for those services. If I get to a building and it says, "Oh, if you're interested in this apartment or if you're interested in this building, call," I will call. Chances there's going to be there a lawyer, or I will interact with that person. I will do that. All right. Having cleared that up, so that nobody accuses me of trying to run their business down. 017-923-0002. 017-923-0003. 08179230002. 08179230003. All right. At Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH. All right. Is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Awaji Lewis on Facebook says, "I grew up in Port Harcourt City and I have lived in several parts of the city, and I haven't seen or heard of someone who had a favorable encounter with any of these agents. Although there are a few good ones, but the rest will either not, render good service, abscond with your money, insult you, or even set you up to be waylaid." Are you serious? Wow. It's not very pleasing to hear. Really not pleasing to hear. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's go on. All right. WhatsApp 009-030-6416. Good morning, Jude. A lot of people don't understand what the role of the agent is. Like you said, they have the role of mediation. You can go to all the places. You can check out all the apartments. That's what these people do. And they have a network. That way it's easier and more seamless to go around places by just phones or even a computer space that they all live in or work in. But my problem is many of these so-called agents are no agents at all. They are just hungry boys who go around places trying to fleece money from both the landlords and even the tenants. That's why in some places the landlord increases the rent, not because the rent is that high, but because they want to avoid trouble from these boys. So who are these boys? Who are these boys? This sparks of what they call, that very disgusting trend that people had in this stage where you want to build a house, it gets to a certain level, some boys come and say, in Lagos it's Omonile. Yeah, I think what it's saying. Maybe are these the same boys? Yala in Arabia. Yala, are you a real estate agent?
I'm not an estate agent.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm interested in your discussion this morning.
Please go on.
But the fact is that, see, a lot of these agents, sometimes we that are looking for houses or an apartment, encourage them to do what they are doing.
How so?
I tell you, yes, if you're looking for an apartment, whatever they show to you, you become satisfied with it. You want to pay for it. And because of when they observe your anxiety, they begin to treat you anyhow. Like me, by the grace of God, I've gotten my own apartment. I no longer look for a house. But then, I remember when I was looking for a place, they took me to several places. But I was careful enough to know the one I need. It's not because I need a house. Whatever you show to me is okay. But I want to say something else. Let us encourage people who are trying to employ themselves. I want your followers to encourage those that are trying to employ themselves, because there is no job in this society. You and I know. A lot of persons are looking for something to survive on. And that does not mean that they should go and kill people. But in most cases, if they show you an apartment you don't like it, they will take you to 3, 4, 5 other apartments. And even tell you that, look, because you have registered with me, continue to call on me. I will call on you whenever I have a good apartment that you will like and show to you. You know, it's a way of survival to me. Sometimes, if we walk by our spirit and then begin to guide our actions and begin to work well without them realizing our anxiety, I think we'll be able to control them. We'll be able to dictate to them, say, look, this one I don't like, and this is what you're going to do. But when you show your anxiety, they begin to take you for granted. That is just the truth about it.
So yeah, you don't think there should be a stricter law or enforcement for these types of things?
Of course, there should be a regulation that will be guiding their operations. I agree, but this regulation should not be something, because when these people does not have a source of livelihood, they begin to do things that you will never imagine. Please, let's help our society.
All right.
If they are doing it genuinely, let's see how they can survive with it and go ahead. But that aspect of duping somebody, I am not in support of it. I cannot encourage them to go and dupe somebody. But most of them are doing it genuinely for their own survival, even if they do not have a regulation or they register or
they're registered. Yeah.
The activity. That's just the truth about it. So please, we need to encourage our people. Let them have a means of livelihood, that to come and point me one small coin and pick up what belongs to me. That one will be too hurting. It will be too offensive for me. I may not like it that way.
Okay.
So that is just my plea.
Yeah, thank you very much. Do drive safely, all right? And have a good day.
And you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Gabriel speaking to us from Bonny Island. Gabriel, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Juice.
Good morning, Gabriel.
Yes, how are you today?
Very well. Trust you're well.
Yeah. Yes, I just want to make a contribution on this topic.
Hmm.
Hello, Mr. Jude?
Yes, go on. We're listening to you. Go on, please. The floor is yours.
Okay. Yes. Sometimes ago, I was looking for accommodation, and I met with somebody I knew very well. And in fact, that person, if you ask him to define the word agent, I don't think he will be able to define it, but he was parading himself as an agent. And I think what they do is just only to extort money from people, because I know as at that time, houses were so hot. People were looking for houses in Bonny like no man's business, because of the project that came in as at that time, the 27. And so it was, in fact, everybody that was looking for a job turned to an agent. And I got across another one, and he said I should pay 10% of the amount that I was to pay for the house.
That's the rent. 10% of the rent.
Sorry?
That's 10% of the rent.
10% of the rent.
Okay.
And which is 30,000, because the house I was looking for, I think from the landlord, he said I should pay 300,000. And then he was asking, the agent now was asking for 10%. And what struck me most was, he said I have to pay his own agent fee before he would take me to go, to see the accommodation.
Wait. What if you don't like it?
That is the question I asked him. What if I don't like the place? And he couldn't answer me. I said, okay, since it is that way, I won't go with what you are asking me, and I have to back out.
That's terrible. That's very terrible. And was this person? Did he have like an ID card or a company or office or something?
Like I said, this is somebody that if you ask him to define that word agent, you will not be able to. So there's no any ID card to like say this person has attended a training or has an idea of this is what or this is how agents work. So that's what they go about doing.
Okay. All right. Gabriel, thank you very much. Gabriel speaking to us from Bonny Island. Now, remember I did tell you that, yes, there is an association of estate agents here in Nigeria. All right. It's the Association of Estate Agents in Nigeria. You can look them up, aean.org.ng. You can check the website, and the concern, right, that we have in this conversation is, are these local agents, are they actually registered? What does it take to be a proper real estate agent or have a real estate agency? And then, I think a lot of people just come to the notion that, okay, yeah, many of them are not. But hey, if you're looking for a house, call this number. 2-bedroom, call this number. How do we regulate the activities of these individuals? How? I remember those days. If anyone is coming to rent an apartment in our family property, if my dad discovers an agent involved, he will dismiss you. To date, it's been like that. The problem is that some house seekers are lazy to look for what they want. Mark Opoene from Okrika. But Mark, once again, remember I told you some people may not have the luxury of the time to do so. Some people work. Imagine somebody who works from 8 a.m. to about 4 p.m. When will he go through the whole of Obiakpo or parts of Falga looking for a house? Or what if he's looking for a house close to where he's working? By the time it's 6 o'clock, he has to go prepare for the work next day, eat. Kudos to those of them who have Instagram pages or websites, or they advertise on Twitter or TikTok, or I don't know. Kudos to them. It's easier. But because they're now online, the expenses and the challenges people are experiencing these days is better imagined than experienced, really. All right, so someone sent a message here, and I think the person was reading my mind. It says the AEAN website. All right, this is the agency that regulates estate agents, but we have not been able to enforce them on it. Now, and this AEAN is being regulated by the National Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. I know that. The Nigerian Institute, I beg your pardon. The agency is not a bad thing, right? Even abroad, we have agents. Yes, they are agents. They have what you call open day, where you come and look at a house. People come in still. Am I renting? Am I buying? And obviously, you have to pay them for those services. Anyway. We'll put a break on our conversations today. Tomorrow is Thursday. Throwing them back. What do we get to listen to? What do we gist? Well, tomorrow will offer its own rewards. My name is Jude. Thank you as always for joining us on Hello Port Harcourt. News comes up your way, and after that, the sunny side.